In this age, it's critical to acquire skills in digital communication for architecture and construction industry. The use of digital tools and media is an opportunity to explore different ways of communicating our designs better. The use of BIM technology workflow in the evolution of CAD is always a topic to explore further and utilize to create better presentation for your audience, clients, team members, or any stakeholders involved in your project cycle. Once we've assembled a successful project model, there are tons of tasks you can perform to test, simulate, and communicate your project efficiently. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to create drawings for a digital audience. I'm going to start this exercise by filtering or sorting out elements that I want to work with in this presentation. So what I'll do, I'll bring the layer settings, or Control L to bring the layer settings, and then from there, under the layer combination, I'm going to pick a category of a group of elements that I want us to show, which is basically the electrical components. So hit OK. So what this will do, it will only filter and give us the elements that we want. But I need to get rid of the walls, so I'll just select this and then hide a layer of that, just like that. Perfect. Now we have everything that we want to work with. So the next stage is to convert this to an Exonometric. It will depend on you how you want to, but Exonometric are good ways of doing your 3D documents because they will keep the vertical lines vertical and then the horizontal lines horizontal. So it's advisable to work in that manner. So I'll go to Window and then bring the 3D visualization tools to activate the Exonometric. So I will fit in Window of all elements like that, and then I can just to pick the window that I think is perfect. It will depend on your, let's see that. I think for this case, let me just go with this one. Let's just pick the a view that will be suitable for your presentation. So I can go to settings and do it here, say 90, this one 0, just to have something like that. Still not pleased. Let's turn this to that. Much better. This is what I want, because now I have my vertical lines and then my horizontal lines parallel, of which that is perfect. So from here I need to save this view. To do that, make sure you create folders to put this in everything, to keep your file structure organized. So I already have a folder here. I'll just throw this there, create a window. I'll keep the layer combination at custom, then electrical Exonometric. Perfect. From there, we need to create a 3D document based on this. So to do that, just right click on creating your 3D document. As you know, this will allows us to place some labels, some annotation text, any documentation tasks that you want to do. Rather, it's on the 3D window, it's very difficult. You cannot achieve that. So this is the name I'll save. Then wait a minute. It will take some time to compute depending on the capacity or the GPU of your machine. So I'm just using a small laptop for this demonstration. There we go. Now we have our elements in a 3D document window. So to complete the setting of this 3D document, we need to save it as a 3D document under folder. Just do that and hit OK. Now I have this saved so that I can now access the 3D settings of this window. I can override some elements here depending on my style, but for the time being I think it's okay. Let's just hit OK. So we move forward to the next stage, which is to place labels and annotation to all elements. To do that, we use a data-driven annotation tools under label. So click on the label. Let's go to the label default settings. Under preview, there are different types of label depending on the situation you want to do. So they are all data driven. Their purpose is to extract data from elements. So we have different information in our elements. So hence we have different types of extraction or different types of labels to extract this information. So in this case, I'm looking for extracting information for ID information of this element. So I need to find something that will successfully do that. So I have a property label here. So if I select that and then let's go to its settings and check you need to check the frame so that you can access the palette here, the shapes. So I'll go to pointer. I'm going to change the pointer to something like a circle. For now, I'll keep the 20, but 20 I think is huge. Let me just say 10 for the time being. If it's big, we'll come back and change depending on the situation there. So let's go to the symbol label. And then here, what I want is the shape. So you can only access this shape if you've under textile you've checked this frame box. It's very important because if you uncheck it, there we go, it's grays everything here. So do that, go back here. In this case, I'm going to pick something interesting. I think this shape is interesting for what I want to do. And then, yeah, you can see we can place a label to all these elements, even fields, I'm telling you, for all these elements. So that is how this is very important. So what we just need here is to arrange the content in columns we want to do. So we just want the ID, the element ID of these components. So if you hit OK, then I'm going to place this label in one of these elements like that. Then from there, let's stretch it to the position where we want. Somewhere there. I think it's big. Let's go back and reduce the height or the size. Set fit frame to text height. So our frame is depending on the text height. So if we reduce the text height, the shape will reduce. So we say 25. Perfect. And I want this label to be straight. You can click on this point and then do that. Perfect. So the elements here are many. So if you were to go and place manually this, it will take you ages. So what I would do, I will utilize a placement where I can do it for multiple elements. So I'll just pick only items that I want to place a label here. So let me see, 1, 2, just like that. Do that, do that, do that. So if you go to document and then under annotation, there's an option to label all selected elements like so. And then what you need to do is just to adjust the position of these labels. That, go back, change the angle to 0, -1. So for this side, I want, just move it. I would want this to be vertical. So I'll go to settings and I'll change the label orientation to custom angle, then 90 degrees. Just to have something like that. From here you can move it there. Then I can apply the settings of this to other labels, just like that. Push it back to there. Just like that. Do it for all of these elements. I can pick the parameter and label like that. Make sure it's properly placed. Do the same to that one. Perfect, I'm done with that side. I've already had a challenge here of the ID of this one. So it's another thing that we need to really understand how to set the element IDs management of our components. So this one also I'll just move it there, but I want it to be on this side, on the left side. So I'll go to the settings, activate the rotation so that I can do a custom rotation like so. And then put it the pointer, put it at 90. So what am I doing? Go back. I don't know what am I doing here. There should be 0. Then the label should be 0 also. Perfect. Like so. Then let me do for that one. Align it with the other ones. I want to pick a mechanical extracts. So for this one, because of the position, I'll have to run it that way and then angle it. So what I'm going to do is just to change the angle of the label of the pointer to maybe 70 degrees so that it can just it's very important. You need to place your label smartly because it shouldn't be interfering with the with the drawing elements, because the labels are secondary. You don't want them to overpower the whole project. So that's the idea. So do another one there. Oh, sorry. Let's move it here. I'll change the angle of the pointer to 70. And then I might do this one there. And then put it there, change the pointer label, the pointer angle to 70. And then I'll go down there, pick this element, but in this case, I can mirror it. Sorry, I can just mirror this. No, it won't work. Let's just rotate it to the other direction. Move it there. Level that one. Then align it to there. This already that. May transfer the settings. And then change the angle point to 0. Is it 0 or 120? It must be 120. Oh my god. Here, let me just take it out and align it. Oh, sorry. Align it here. Let me pick the sockets. Place it there. Move to another point, depending on how you want to. Let's see this one. Sorry. Place it there. Then I have another important one there. And place it here. Perfect. Now I have majority of the elements I want us to work with labeled, but I can go further and do this one for the sake of this tutorial. Something like that. Okay, this is what we have. What we need to do is to override. I've seen some ID of other elements I'm not pleased with, most especially of this one. So what we need to do, let's go back to the 3D window, and then I'm going to select all the elements that I want to overwrite the ID coding. So I might bring the find and select by just Control F, find and select tool. From here, let's add a layer as the criteria of selection. Then I'll pick parameters of the one element that I want us to do. Then click on the plus to select all elements under that layer. So if we say, let's see, I think it didn't select the bending ones. Let's do it also for the bends. Then that. From here, we need to go to the document to access the ID manager, element ID manager. So from here, what we need to do is to create a criteria of how we're going to sort the ID of our elements. So I want the elements that are on the same width and height to be on this one ID or on the same ID. So I'll make sure I'll check this, set the same ID by criteria. And then from here, sorry about that, guys, there was a discussion here before. So from here, I'll go to the ID format, because these are elements that are under mechanical category. What I'll do, I'll set a code for that. So according to the classification system here, it's on D. So I'll say DS for D for services. Then, yeah, and then I'll hit change. There we go. There is the list of the IDs, IDs that we have created. And then it said these are the elements. So under DS05 we have 2 elements there, and then DS17 we have 3, just like that. So they are grouped according to their size, so that it makes our sorting easier. So hit OK, and then from there, if you go back to our 3D document, automatically our labeling will be adjusted. Thus the importance of using data-driven tools. So perfect. Now we have our drawing in place. What we need to do is to set a schedule that will represent a legend to explain all these elements. So to do that, we're going to use an interactive schedule. So I'll right click on this. So I already have something here I've created which says electrical. Let's open it and see. I'll explain it from there. So in this item here, if you check that only it was meant for electrical legend. So what I need to do is to add mechanical elements there, because there I have electrical and mechanical elements in my drawing. So what I need to go to scheme settings. From here, if you look at the criteria of selecting this element, it was mainly based on the electrical component. So what I'll do, I'll also add another criteria that access the classification, as you can see this one. I'm using Uniformat 2010 CSI classification. So I'll just go to under classification, select the system there, and then I'll change the class that I want. So I think I have something under heating and ventilating. So I have cooling systems. I have ventilation systems. I need to be sure. I needed to be sure with this one. I could have checked first before I came here. So see under here. Let's close up this. And what we need to do, let's check first what are these elements under. So I'll go to the settings under classification properties. These items are not assigned a class, so we need to assign all of them a class. So what I'll do, I'll just do that. Click on the classification system, then choose the class. I think this should be under cooling or ventilation. So let me say central cooling, choose, then hit OK. I'll do the same to this one. Classification, choose a class, sorry. Services. This one is a mechanical extractor under ventilate. So it will be more like exhaust there. We'll just put it there for now, for the sake of this tutorial. And then let's see if these ones, the class they are under. These ones are under power distribution. It should be extraction. Should be under D. Ventilation. Choose hit OK. I think the fixtures are in place on the right classification. Yeah, they're under supply A. Let's check the air curtains. Supply A. I think it's fine. We can go back to our schedule. Then I think the best way is to create a new schedule for all these items instead of reusing this one. So I'll go to settings and then I'll select this, create a new one, duplicate that one, and then to be mechanical. Let me say legend so that can make sense. Hit OK. So it will duplicate the system that we already had here. So I need just to add the mechanical items. So go here, ventilation, extract, choose, add another criteria, choose class system, go back. I need to have a central cooling. Then I add another one. Then I need supply A. Let's see. Supply A. I think I have all of them. So we need to change here this to say or, then or. Perfect. So the fields that we want to pull in the schedule is the ID and the specification of this. We can say the home offset, but for now let's just remove this. We remain with the 2. Hit OK. Perfect. There we go. It will give you this more like a scary table. Don't worry. You can just customize this to suit your standard. So what I will do here, first that I need to check is to wrap text in the cells. So it's active, which is fine. So I will say wrap and then I think unwrap and then wrap, so that it can automatically fix or format the table like so. As you can see, if you want to have most of my legends that they don't have they're borderless. I don't have cells like so. So this is where you turn off this to make a plain table like this one. So in our list we have items that are undefined like this, so we can punch in information from either from the manufacturers or the supplier as technical information manual or whatever. So that's the importance of using interactive schedules. So once you place a specification here, it will be stored in the element, and this information can be accessed not only by schedules, you can also access it by placing an annotation to those elements, of which I see it as an important part. So yeah, perfect. So I think we are fine. What you need to do is to merge uniform items, but they're already meshed. So if we go back to our 3D window and then having these items be selected. So what I need to do is, I think, let me uncheck this one. Perfect. So if we place, we go to its classification and properties and tag information there for under specification. So if we say this, because this is HAVC distribution system. Perfect. Then if you hit OK, go back to the schedule, that information will be keyed in here. But to keep my table short, I will have to use the same code for these distribution systems, because at the end of the day, it will depend on the level of or the stage of the project. So if you really want, for manufacturing, you need to have each to have its own unique ID. But in this case of this demonstration, let me just group them. We'll just leave it the way it is. So I have these ones, I don't know what it is, but you can also confirm by selecting on the view in 3D window. Or this mechanical extract. So we have the copy specification and place it there. I made a mistake by, let's go back. It has to be consistent in terms of the font. So what I'll do, go back, make sure this is on caps lock. Distribution system. These ones that are undefined, we can also check what are these. This has to be under D services under supply of A. And then the specification will be H, let me just say mechanical distribution system. And I'm pretty sure now the straight table is looking great, so we can go ahead and fix all these remaining items. It's very, very important to do scheduling because it will give you an idea, an overview of the elements that are not specified, like in this case here. So it's always very, very critical to extract your information and assess to check if all the elements are being attended. So yeah, that's the reason of using BIM workflows. So there's no room for error here. So this, I think I have the specification is only on a different property. You can just say copy this. The reason why I used two different fields for that, it was because I had different drawings where I wanted to key in or to extract information in differently. So it depends on the stage of the project as well, what type of information you need to extract at that level. So yeah, to fix this, you can say uncheck rep and then rep to automatically. So that would be that. So the remaining, for the sake of the tutorial, let me just leave the ones that are not attended. So from here, let's place these two drawings or these two views in a layout. So if you go to layout, let's create a new layout. So use that, I'll call it electrical and mechanical. It makes sense. Hit OK. So there you go. This is what I have. I can fix this. You can fix it or maybe abbreviate. Maybe abbreviate some like so. Perfect. And then let's place the two. I need this. Just drag and drop to the layout. So we need to change the scale. Stretch that side. Update. I think this is where ArchiCAD needs to improve for the coming versions. When you're dealing with this details of magnitude, there is always a little bit of a delay on the process. I don't know why, but they really need to improve this, especially when you're placing the drawings on a layout. So this I'll just freely scale it like so, and then move it to the center like so. Let me close this window. So to fix, there's a quick trick for the label. You can drag it and place it there, or you uncheck it and then you load it. So I can say no title, then I bring it back. It will be fine. It will sit next to the drawing. So I'll move this to that side to create a space for the legend. Something like that. I think the label of the drawing is this line is, I need to kill it maybe somewhere. So to do so, I'll just go to the settings of the drawing under title, custom settings. Then I'll link the width of the drawing to a length parameter. So then I'll just key in 150. Normally 150 is always perfect for this. Then yeah, perfect. So let's bring in we didn't save this to the view map. So I'm just gonna save it here and say create electrical and medical legend. Go back, drag it and drop it in the layout. There we go. Move it, place it to the position like so, and then I don't need a label on this one. I'll just take it out. Sorry, label, no title. Let's see, I think I might just increase the size. Let me just freely scale it like so. I think it's perfect. Yeah, I think it's perfect. Thank you guys for the long attention. It was really a long video, but if you want step-by-step in-depth, so I'm working on a course that is to create better project documentation in ArchiCAD. So if you really want to take this into the next level, check the link in the description to pre-order that course. Take advantage of the half price of the pre-order. So once it's being released, so the fees will go back to its normal fee, to double. So I think you might just take advantage of it now and reserve your seat for yourself and wait for the course to be released. It should be released on the 19th of this month of March. So yeah, it will be communicated as well, the release date. So thank you once again. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you and see you in the next video. Bye bye.